JJ Barnes, and this is Jonathan McKinney.
Hello.
And you are listening to episode, I want to say 7?
It is.
Episode 7 of our WandaVision podcast, where we take each episode, we watch it on the Friday, we record this on the Friday night, we take each episode, we break it apart, we talk about what happens in the episode, we talk about what we like, what we didn't like, and we share our thoughts and theories about what is happening, what's going on, and what is to come. We have not watched ahead. We have no knowledge beyond the episodes shown and backstory of the Marvel catalogue. So we are not going to be giving spoilers.
Oh no, well we couldn't.
No, literally, we are not also watching ahead.
There's nothing to watch.
No, but I mean, like, we haven't got like special access.
Oh, right. No.
We are literally watching as they are released and then talking about them. So if you are listening to this, if you are up to date with the episodes, you are up to date with what knowledge we have.
Also,
and I think that's important to say.
You might have more, because I avoid any kind of Twitter speculation.
Yeah, I do too.
Because obviously,
I avoid leaks as well, because I don't want that. I don't want to have it ruined.
No,
so basically, if you are watching episode by episode, the episode of this podcast you are listening to, if that like correlates to the episode of the TV show that you have watched, then we will not have any knowledge. The only thing that we might bring to you that is new and exciting and mysterious is our speculation, our thoughts and theories. And may I just say, Jonathan,
yes,
before we get into the like meat and bones of this episode, right? This episode, and I tweeted this earlier, right? This episode makes me want to, just before we start, just to say, I told you so, Podlovians. Or maybe we told you so.
What did we tell?
What did we talk about last week, Jonathan?
Well,
did we talk about the Salem witch trials? Did we talk about did we not talk about this like episodes and episodes ago about Agatha Harkness? Did we not speculate? Did we not say all the hints and clues? Did we not, Jonathan McKinney?
No, we did.
We did, so this means I told you so.
Okay, so there is history in comic books between Agatha Harkness and Wanda.
May I just say, do not go trying to downplay the fact that I have done a big I told you so.
Sure. But I mean, I think other people were predicting this.
I know.
A lot, because she is a mentor of Wanda's in a weird way.
I know, but also, we did tell them so.
Sure, yeah. And, but more specifically, cats.
Now you have to wrestle.
More specifically, we also felt that she was faking it with Vision in the car last week.
Yes, and we talked... Right, no. Stop.
And when Vision did the Norm head thing, and she was like, Norm was saying, she's in my head, she won't let me this and she won't let me that. We speculated then that it might be Agnes that he's talking about and not Wanda, because he doesn't say Wanda.
May I just say, we should start from the beginning.
Okay, let's do that.
So, right. You've never seen Modern Family.
That is correct.
Right.
I have seen The Office. So
yeah.
I got the Vision stuff.
I love Modern Family. I love everything about Modern Family. So I was just very excited to see the Modern Family style open, where it's like she's waking up in bed and then she's like having a little interview on the chair and then she's like carrying on. And I also would like to say that I really, really strongly have an emotional connection to Hot Mess Mom Wanda.
Yeah. Tired and frazzled
and sort of scruffy and wandering around in a dressing gown, just sort of like, what is happening? Why is life?
You're in a dressing gown right now.
I literally am. I'm also a hot mess. So yes, I very much enjoyed that. It's very funny. The opening sequence, and yeah, you're right, it's got very strong Office vibes with the opening credits. It's basically the same music.
It's the WandaVision music with the like rhythms and sounds of The Office.
And yeah, like I was like, I was really enjoying that, and because we watched it with our 8-year-old, and she's never seen Modern Family, she's never seen The Office, like she's just too wee, but she was very much enjoying the format.
Well, she likes this show, and she did from the start. Which is really interesting because she's an 8-year-old who has never seen anything like the first 2 episodes, especially.
Yeah, she's not really been into Marvel, but
no, she's never really.
But
been
this
into Marvel.
got her. But she really enjoyed the format of the breaking the fourth wall, which is obviously it's the episode, and they look to camera, they talk to camera,
That also happened last week though. Billy was talking to the audience,
but it was in a very specific style.
I don't think anybody else did.
No, it's very specific style this time. Yeah, last time was in that Malcolm in the Middle style, like walking down the stairs, like chatting but it was dropped very quickly. But this was like quite consistent all the way through. The nods, they gymmed the camera basically all the way through.
In Vision's case, with all the mannerisms of John Krasinski, sitting in a chair, waving his arms about, and sort of resting his just everything. He'd studied John Krasinski.
I completely agree.
Even to the point that when they're I mean, we won't jump ahead, but I'll just quickly say that when Vision and Darcy are being thwarted in their attempts to return to Wanda's house, the cats are making so much noise. When they are being thwarted, trying to return to Wanda and Vision's home, there's a moment where like another crazy random thing happens.
Yeah, the kids.
And he totally just looks at the camera like, Jim.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I absolutely agree. So yeah, they go in with this very definite not Malcolm in the Middle. They go in with this very definite
Modern
Family style, and then you cut out again, and you've got Monica and Jim.
Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, the other Jim.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy driving off to meet, who I was really, really hopeful
that it was going to be John Krasinski.
I really was hopeful. And like they pull up and they've got this big truck and they're going to do this big reveal. And I'm like, I was like bobbing up and down.
The question is, because we didn't talk about it, because we don't talk about it.
We literally don't. I know.
Come on here. Did you interpret that scene as we've met the engineer and it's that woman?
No.
Because that's not what I interpreted it.
No.
I think we haven't met the person who's come up with this.
No, I agree, because she's...
Which...
The soldier lady was talking about it like, this is what we've brought for you.
Yeah, not what I designed.
It wasn't... She's like, it's the most high-tech, like, space robot driving...
So yeah, the astrophysicist is still out there and in play.
And I was so hopeful.
If they're going to introduce Mr. Fantastic, right? Or Hank McCoy, the Beast from the X-Men, then I think it makes more sense to do it in the finale of this than in episode 7.
Can I tell you my theory?
Yeah, please.
Right, because you know how I am jumping ahead, and I always say this every week, we won't jump ahead, we'll just talk about it, but I'm doing it anyway, so Podlovians, do forgive me. Right, you know how we literally watch Monica mutate, right? I think we are watching the start of the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Because
you think they'll get their powers going through this thing too?
No, I think she's a Fantastic Fourian.
She probably isn't though.
But
they'd have to change the Fantastic Four, and Marvel's like MCU doesn't.
But her outfit when she's like bodging her ass through, very Fantastic Four, is that sort of dark bluey.
So, okay,
I think she's going to be Sue Storm.
She's Photon, and I think Spectrum. These are characters that she like superhero identities that she has in the
Damn
comics.
It!
So it's not a surprise to me that she has gained powers.
But I was like, oh, look at her. She's got, like, the blue eyes going on. She's mutating. I thought she was going to be Sue Storm.
It could be. They could still use the Hex to turn the Fantastic Four into the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think she's Sue Storm. I think Sue Storm will be Sue Storm and she's going to be Monica Rambeau. Plus, she's not married to John Krasinski.
No, but...
We'd know that.
But she's not met him yet.
No, that's true. I don't think she's going to be Sue Storm.
Okay, right. I'm just going to level this now.
Okay.
Right. If, when she meets John Krasinski, if it is John Krasinski,
or whoever,
right, there is a frisson of sexual tension.
Oh, I see.
I know, I was going French. It's a thing. I would like to say that I would like to wager the possibility. Right?
Okay. I'd be amazed. I don't think that's going to happen. But
no, I understand if there's an actual like, because you are the Marvel guy and I'm the overexcited gal.
Yeah.
Right. If there is like actual canon where she is not Sue Storm, then fine, I accept it. But I think that would be really cool because if we are right and they're going to introduce Mr. Fantastic, right? How cool would it be to have seen the beginning of the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Universe with her becoming the mutated version of herself, the superhero? Like, that would be awesome.
A superpowered character already.
Well, now I know this.
If she'd been Sue, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
But
no. I don't think so.
Fine.
So what are the 4 sections of this podcast? Because we keep forgetting. We're going to go through what happens, right?
First is plot, then is what we liked, then is what we didn't like, and then is theories.
Okay, so we've done a bit of plot. So she meets her gang. Well, now the dog's making noises.
Honestly,
Pavlovians, we've got animals and they're all really stupid and loud. So apologies if you hear weird
No, we should go back to the beginning because the hex is obviously like Monica. Wanda is losing control. The milk is changing. Like things are going on. Like the house looks like one of those apps. Do you get these apps advertised to you on social media where it's like you can redecorate this house and see if someone likes it, and like the app shows like change, and it's really annoying. Yeah. But it looked just like those apps, like the wallpaper going up and down, like the TV changing, like pick your style lamp, and
and the PlayStation game or the Xbox game is turning into like a really old sort of 80s
and then it becomes like an Uno card game.
Yeah. Card game.
I feel like that was a really clear demonstration that Wanda's not in control of everything.
Yeah, well, and I feel like that has been
I
shown
agree
too, but
that was like, she is a mess. She can't function. She is confused. She doesn't know what's going on. She's very aware that this is out of her control. And I feel like, yes, it has been shown before, but this was like a real statement of, no, this is beyond her. She's lost now.
She can sort of magic it all back to the way she likes, but then it keeps happening.
It fights her. So. Yeah. And if she was just in control of everything, it wouldn't fight her. It wouldn't happen in the first place.
So, let's keep moving through.
Wonderful Agnes shows up and is like, I'm gonna like give your mum a break. Like,
yeah, she wants to take the kids, and
Wanda, like any mother, is like, oh, thank God, yes, take my children, give me some peace.
Yeah, so she's definitely like pushed, should we say, Wanda, to desire a bit of space from all of the chaos in her life.
And she wants space from Vision, and that's really clear.
So this is going to feed into some sort of theories later.
Okay, no, tell me.
Wanda is fried because she did the big hex expansion, right?
Yeah. She says, like...
Yeah, she names that as the problem. And yeah, the tensions with her and Vision are not going to help. And also, the kid's expecting her to know answers that she doesn't have.
She's like, you know that little speech of like, you want Mom to know everything, and I don't know everything. I don't have the answers. Oh my gosh, I was watching it like, oh, Wanda.
So...
God, yes!
So yeah, I think it's worth noticing that Wanda has been driven to this state in which she gladly hands her children over to Agnes, right?
Don't say it like the only women who've been driven to a state. I will gladly hand my children over.
No, but she could be protective, knowing that something is going on, but she's fried and...
I'm protective.
No, I'm not saying this about you. I'm talking about the plot, right?
Okay, I'm just going to try not to take any of this personally.
Look,
Someone who will be like, please take my children.
We are both trapped in lockdown, but we don't send our children. Even when there's no lockdown, we send our children to our parents' homes.
No, you're right. You're
send
right.
them to the neighbour who we don't fully understand. Like, we don't do that. But Wanda does. I'm not criticising her either. I'm just saying that she's pushed to feel like that by the events that she can't control.
You're right. It is obvious that she is under a lot of pressure and stressed and just so desperately grateful for an opportunity to have some alone time. Yeah. And it's really emphasised by the fact that Tommy talks about how he likes it at Agnes's because Agnes's head is quiet.
That's Billy.
Is it Billy?
Yeah.
I mix them up. I do it with my own children too. But yeah, like, and at first, because I was watching it, like, right, and I was like, that's because she's a witch. That's because she's a witch. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, also, it's not just that. It's not just that Agnes was stopping anyone hearing her head. Like, and I do think that plays into it because she knows that there's the opportunity to listen in. Like, she controls that. She's obviously powerful. But also, I feel like it just tells you how much Wanda is struggling. That
she's very loud.
She's very loud. Inside. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'm loud inside.
So yeah, Wanda accepts the offer gladly and she watches TV, but yeah, the TV starts going weird. Then is it we go back to Monica?
And getting strapped up into the
machine. This episode feels like there's not a lot of events. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like there's not a lot to talk about. I mean, there's going to be a lot to talk about, but not a lot of events happening. There's a lot.
You're right, actually, because I didn't, when we started this, I wasn't like, oh, there's not a lot to talk about. But
no, there's loads to talk about, but I'm surprised we're already at the point where Monica's going to come back in. Because that feels like it's right at the end.
No, but it's not. Like, it clearly isn't because they have to have the whole interaction.
One thing we have neglected to mention, which I think happens before this, is
Vision. It's Vision and Darcy.
So he's like,
oh my gosh, yes, oh my god.
He says, like, last night we made eye contact. Yeah. There was a connection between us. And she's like, hard pass.
Hard pass. She's so good.
She is.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. You know what, I said to you, their theme tune.
Their theme tune?
Yeah, the Vision and Darcy escaping from the circus.
Yeah.
Dooply.
It's a bit circus themed.
So funny. And it's like you're going from like high tension or like Monica trying to bust this or Wanda stress, and you go to dooply, and they're in their little ice cream truck driving along.
Yeah, the shifting from tone to tone
is really good.
It's great, yeah.
It's so good. And they, like, when he releases her and he's like, you remember, you can help me, doctor. And the guy's like, you have to go on stage. And they're like, no.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm sorry.
I can't hear you.
The agent double bucked us. Yeah. We have to be at another thing. And he's very pathetically, I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. It's so funny. And she's so funny. And she looks fucking great in that little, like, suit with the little red lapel thing. Oh my god, she looks great. She makes me want to, like, be the kind of woman who can pull off like a blazer and trousers. And I'm like, I couldn't. I'm not cool enough. But she looks great. She's fabulous. She is, without a doubt, one of my favourite characters in the MCU. And she was one of my favourite characters in the MCU, even before she had like a leading role when she was like back in Thor.
Well, in Thor, not in Thor Ragnarok, in Thor the Dark World.
In Thor the Dark World, she
calls it meow meow. And when there's that scene and they're all reacting to different things and they're like saying, yeah, and it wishes past meow meow.
Yeah.
That's one of the few memories I've got of that movie, because it's not very good.
It's not a very good movie, but she's brilliant, and I
Yeah.
loved her. I loved her from the moment, like, as I say, back when Natalie Portman was still doing it. Like, I loved her. She's fucking brilliant.
Well,
so I love that she's got a great role in this.
Natalie Portman's in the next Thor movie.
Is
She's
she?
back. So maybe Darcy will be in that, but I don't suppose she will now. She's kind
I'm
of...
surprised because Natalie Portman hated it.
Well, maybe she's, been
offered enough money.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you pay me a load of money. It's like Harrison Ford. He speaks about Star Wars very, very sort of critically.
And then he's like, hello, I'm going to get murdered by Kylo Ren.
Someone said to him, like, did you shoot first? Or does Greedo shoot first? And he's, I don't fucking care. Which I think is really funny. Because it's this whole big thing in Star Wars fandom. Like, the first scene that Han Solo is in.
Yeah.
He's at this table in this space pirate bar.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a bounty hunter versus bounty hunter situation, and Han Solo shoots him under the table. And in the remasters or the re-edits of it, George Lucas had it kind of badly look like the other bounty hunter shot first, so that Han Solo wasn't as morally murky.
Yeah.
And Star Wars fans just hated that. And I just like the idea of someone asking him, like, did you shoot first, or did Greedo shoot first? He's like, I don't fucking care.
That's funny.
It is. But then he went back and did another one.
Yeah, he got murdered by his son, and he'd had a tragic death. But yeah, I'm surprised. But anyway.
Vision and Darcy. Very funny. They want to get back to the house. Then you've got Monica busting in and becoming a superhero. Like,
honestly, when she's forcing her way through, because I was sat next to our 8-year-old Rosie, and Rosie was just there, and she was like, honestly,
it's so good.
It was like Rosie was vibrating, because she was just, Monica's forcing her way through that bloody thing, and like she's got her faces going, all these different things happening, and it was so cinematic.
It was.
And like the red, and just like pushing her way through, and her face. Honestly, I know she's 8, right? And so she hasn't got a lot of experience of grown-up shows. Like, this is the only grown-up show she's ever liked. We've tried with, assortment things, and she's just not interested. She liked My Little Pony. But this, she was just next to me, and it was literally like she was shaking. She literally was. It wasn't like she was shaking. She was shaking. She was so excited. And I'm watching it like, I'm not surprised you're excited. Like, her eyes are going blue. She busts her way through, and I'm like, is she going to come through and become Geraldine again? Mm-hmm. The version, the Geraldine.
Or a sort of The Office / Modern Family version.
Yeah, exactly. But no, she's her, and she's got these like blue eye flashes, and I'm like, oh my god, she's a mutant. She is officially, because they've talked about it. Her cells have been changing. She has become an actual motherfucking mutant. I'm like, this is very excellent.
She's not a mutant.
What?
We'll get into this.
She is not a mutant.
No,
but she has been mutated.
Well, okay, should we just get into it then?
Yes, get into it. So, she has been mutated.
There are mutants who are born with a gene that means that they develop powers.
So what are the people who are mutated by outside forces?
Mutates.
They're mutates.
Yeah.
So she's not a mutant, no. She's a mutate.
Yeah, like Spider-Man or the Hulk or, anybody who becomes sort of super...
Mutated externally.
By an accident or a thing that happened to them. Then they become, they are officially mutate.
I do not enjoy that word.
And the mutants are born with it, so it's not an accident that happens to them.
May I just say, I do not enjoy the word I'm a mutate, because mutate feels like a
verb.
It's
a process.
Mutants have been mutate.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what they are, right? So
I don't like
just to clarify that, and because that's not a mutant. There's already lots of people like Monica in the MCU. Spider-Man is one.
Yeah.
The Hulk is one. Right. Steve Rogers is a mutate.
I do not enjoy that, though. That is a terrible word. Why could they not come up with a good word?
I don't know. I mean, take it up with but he's passed away, so you can't take it up with Stan Lee.
I'll discuss it with Feige.
Oh, Feige's not responsible.
No, but he could have a word. He could change things.
Well, he's not really one for changing things. But
I would like to have a word with him over our next luncheon.
Okay, good. When he invites us to Burbank.
Yes, he will, baby.
Yeah. So, I don't know if that's where he is. That's just a joke between me and Judith here. So...
Judith.
She bodges her way through. The voices that you hear, because we couldn't really hear it when we watched it on the TV with Rosie, but on the computer I had the headphones in and the screen the closed captions subtitles on. So you've got dialogue from her mother and Carol Danvers,
like
when she was coming back from the film. She, like, "You're the strongest person I know," I think was what her mother said to her. And you hear Carol Danvers say something about, like, when they were handing out daughters, your mother got the best one. You hear it's a lot of stuff about her being powerful and strong and heroic, and it's the fact that she's doing this speaks to her heroic nature.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, because they've all warned her, like, you could die.
Yeah, and she's watched the bloody truck be like this super powered, like nothing can stop it truck be like sucked into the thing and then spat out.
Yeah, it's heroic from the beginning. She's a great character, and what Marvel's done is they've launched a new superpowered character.
Yeah, and the thing is,
Marvel has this whole, like, Spider-Man's great power, great responsibility, and Steve Rogers is like, I don't like bullies, and he's getting beaten up even before he's given his power. This character, I don't really know anything about her. Right?
No, the thing is, all I know of her is that she was like the kid in...
Yeah, who I remember she was there.
Yeah, but I had no emotional attachment to that child. No interest. It was just a minor role. But now I'm like, you give me a film with this woman, I will watch it.
Well, I was all sort of about Wanda and Vision, but when Photon or Spectrum or whatever she's going to be called confronts Wanda, I was a bit like, I was almost rooting for Monica more.
I literally was. I was like, put her down, hot mess mom. Like, I love you. I strongly relate to the aesthetic you have going on.
Yeah.
But also, listen, because she's right. They talk about it. Like, like the thing we said about how Hayward is trying to turn Vision into
a sentient weapon.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about that as well. Wanda was saving Vision from Hayward.
Yeah, I really appreciated that as well, because it was kind of all there, but it wasn't the way that the conflict had been framed. So you had to sort of think about it.
Exactly.
And not just accept it on face value.
Yeah. And then it's like all the thinking we've done, all the theorizing, all the talking about. Like, Podlovians, please appreciate our thought brain processes.
Well, they will have had thought brain processes too.
I know. I just enjoy validation.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
You are valid.
Oh, thank you, my love. I am.
So, I liked it. So, especially because she used the specific words, like Hayward wants his sentient weapon back. And I'm like, that's nice, because that's what we said.
Right, literally. So... Monica is given, like, when Monica confronts Wanda, she knows that she is 100%, there is no doubt, she is there in a good capacity for Wanda's benefit, not just Wanda, but Vision. Like, she knows. She hasn't got a sort of like, oh, I'm there to trip her up or stop what she's doing. She's like, no, what I am telling you, you have to know. But Wanda, of course, on the defensive. And you know what I love? Right. And I'm going to completely love on Catherine Hahn.
Yeah.
Throughout this.
Of course, yeah.
Because I haven't even talked about Catherine Hahn's little moments in the Modern Family, like jumping back and forth with the interview. Like I
actually did bite a kid once.
Yeah, I just haven't even got onto that. But if we just jump aside from that for a moment, when she comes out, like she sees it happening out her window, and we have talked all the way through this about the little hints that this TV show is giving us.
Yeah.
That she is not one of the zombie people.
Yeah. I'm going to get big on this. I've been watching back all the scenes that she's been in pretty much throughout this.
It's been hinted repeatedly. And it shows you, like, the postman, freezes. The neighbors freeze. Everybody says nothing, does nothing. They just lock because it's like, she's forcing them, or they're like, we daren't.
Oh, you mean when Monica...
When Monica confronts Wanda and she, like, red zooms her up in the air.
Yeah,
right?
Everybody else stops, and I don't think it's clear that they're frozen.
No, but they
definitely stop what they're doing.
Whereas Agnes...
She has agency.
She has issue. Like, she is given filth looks to Monica. She is steering Wanda away. She has actual ability in this world that is supposedly entirely controlled by Wanda. She is there looking sharp, looking smart, looking strong. Wanda is a mess. She looks like me on a daily basis, which means she is just losing her mind as a standard. And Agnes comes along and is steering Wanda, moving, literally, physically, controlling Wanda's movements. Not through magic.
Through mind control or magic.
Nothing. But she has
Wanda's not fighting it.
She has the strength of mind to not just go up to Wanda, who everybody else is either terrified of or controlled by, and physically move her away from the woman she is confronting. And in this world, that alone should say to you, this woman...
Well, I think I know what you're saying. It should say that this woman isn't like the others. But what I would say is, because the theory that I'd had, and I haven't really talked about it, but one of the other theories about Agnes is that it was a red herring about Agatha Harkness, and that's why she was called Agnes. Like when one of the theories that I'd had was that she was just another person, but the reason she's sort of able to do stuff like that would be because she's the person closest to Wanda.
Wanda trusts her.
Wanda's sort of wing Agnes.
Sure.
The character who Wanda calls on, maybe subconsciously, but still, when Wanda needs her... I've
got a doghouse.
Yeah, when Wanda needs her, she appears with a solution, which would explain the, like, you want to go from the top moment when she straight up just says, like, you want me to hold the babies, right? Like, am I not supposed to do this? Am I doing this wrong?
That's a fine theory, but
it's obviously been
I know. I'm just very excited that it's the good version of the theory where she is a funky. Yes, I just love it. I love it. Oh my gosh.
We're not there yet. So
I know.
I'm sorry.
I'm calm.
We're nearly there. So you've got the stuff with Wanda. With Vision and with Dr. Darcy. So Wanda or Agatha is throwing obstacles to stop them from getting back. It's very funny.
It's
Vision's
hilarious.
doing the gym helper.
And then he realises, he's like, actually, I can just, what am I doing? And he just zooms up.
This is absurd. I need to go and find my wife. And he bangs his head on the boom mic and sort of goes and flies off. And she's like, I'll just meet you there.
I love her. She's so, honestly, right, universe, if you can allow me, please, to write for Kat Dennings, I would love to write for Kat Dennings, and I feel like she and I would be friends. I feel like, much like Taylor Swift, right, Kat Dennings would be my friend.
Good.
I add her to my list of people I'm friends with in my head.
Okay.
This list so far is Taylor Swift, Michelle Obama, and Kat Dennings.
Good.
These are all the people who are too good for me, but I want to be my friend.
So, Vision?
How much red wine have you had there,
Red
McKinney?
Wine? You're at it now. Vision flies through the ceiling of the truck.
And, whooshes off.
Flies off, but we don't... So that's the end of the episode for him in terms of what we see.
Wanda is in the house. I may just say that I love the way they've decorated Agnes's house.
Yes.
Because it's witchy.
It's a witch's house, yeah.
It's dark and kind of goth, and there's like velvet and dark patterns, and it looks homey. The upstairs it looks homey. Like, it doesn't look like you'd walk into it and be like, what the motherfucking goth is going on in here?
No. It's not a shrine of doom.
No, but also it's like a dark version of the Wanda house.
Mm-hmm.
It's excellent.
Yes.
I very much enjoy the aesthetic in that house. And she's like looking at the empty plate, like the plates that have been eaten sandwiches and the goofy cartoon kind of crap that our kids watch on the TV. And she's like, where are the twins?
And she sees a giant fly on the window.
It's a cockroach.
Okay.
That was a roach.
Okay. I thought it was a big fly.
No, that's because you're scared of flies.
It's not that. I'll get into why I thought it was a big fly.
Ooh! Is there an actual... No, tell me. Don't get into it later. Get into it now.
Yeah.
Why did you think it was a fly?
Well, we talked last week. We said fuck Mephisto, right?
Yeah, fuck Mephisto.
We might have to take that back and accept that he probably is Ralph at this point. Because...
Is Mephisto a fly?
No, but the first time he appeared, he was a fly. So he's the devil, right? He's Satan, or he's not specifically the devil.
Not the religion.
From Christian and...
Yeah, but he is the non-religious specific.
But no, he's a ancient... He was around from the very beginning, right?
Mm.
And he is like the king of the hell realm.
Right.
Right? So obviously that's very similar to Satan. He wants souls, right?
So like in Hercules.
Yeah. He wants souls for his hell realm. And he's the reason why everybody's been talking about him from the beginning is because the twins were in the comic books created using a part of his essence or some bollocks.
Oh,
right?
so we can't say fuck Mephisto anymore.
Well, we can, but
we think that Mephisto's gonna rock up.
I think so, and with the devils in the details, that's not the only place he is in episode 2 or 3. I think in episode 2. Dottie says the devil's in the details, and Agnes says that's not.
There was a
the
little
only place.
flash of Dottie again in
There
this
was,
episode.
Yeah. And we got to talk about her too. But
yeah, we have to. I really want to because I'm fascinated.
So with the reference to the devil, and it's literally Agnes who says it. The 2nd of June being the anniversary of her marriage to Ralph, which the idea of witches being burned was because they were the brides of Satan, right? She says, my anniversary was on the 2nd of June, which is when the Salem witch trials started.
Yeah.
It's all kind of painting a pretty clear picture that it is going to be this motherfucker.
Damn, I very much enjoy when we are correct.
But
I am
that's
grouchy when we are wrong.
It isn't confirmed yet.
I know, I just like being right.
Mephisto, I believe, is an incredibly powerful character.
So,
we stronger than Thanos.
About Magneto. Ian McKellen was trending today.
Oh, I?
Yeah. And I saw, before I watched it, this morning, because I was on, I logged on to my Twitters to catch up with all my tweetles. And I was like, Ian McKellen's trending. I was like, no! I was like, don't you tell me! We just did a podcast about how it wouldn't be Ian McKellen. I'm like, don't! I was like, I didn't dare look at it. I didn't click it. I just saw Ian McKellen was trending. I'm like, this better be because you got your COVID jab, McKellen. I was like, don't you dare rock up. We rooted for Fassbender. And not because we prefer Fassbender to McKellen. If you're a new Podlovian and you have not listened to our previous Poddles, please note, this is not because we don't love McKellen. We love McKellen. We love McKellen with all of our hearts, right? Our many hearts that we have, right? But we said it would be the Fassbender Magneto.
And it still might.
But the point is, right, because I looked at the Ian McKellen after I'd watched, I clicked the Ian McKellen trend thing on the tweetles, and it was all WandaVision viewers are expecting Ian McKellen to reprise his role, and I was like, no, because we said it would be Fassbender, so this is wrong.
So, yeah, I mean, we don't know what's going on.
No, that was just me just assuming that we are right and they are wrong.
I'll quickly say that there's still... the reason I thought Fassbender is because it was the younger versions of these characters that
the intro
Quicksilver was around.
Yeah.
So that was my take. But that isn't to say that Fassbender is going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I know.
Or that's still... because that still might not be...
It literally could be an
Quicksilver.
entirely new actor.
It's the same actor, but he's... It might not be Quicksilver.
No, I mean, as Magneto. They could just
they
cast
could.
an entirely new...
They've kind of already established that different actors can play the same character, not just in the sense of the Incredible Hulk,
Pietro.
but she recast Pietro. So obviously the fact that he shows up at the very end in
Ed Norton.
In the post-credit scene,
he's scary.
He is. In the post-credit scene, the fact that Quicksilver shows up again is indicative of the fact that he still exists.
That's not going away.
He's still around, and it's still possible that is Quicksilver from the X-Men movies, right? That's not confirmed.
That's what I hope, because I like...
He's got the super speed.
I like him as well, as an actor.
I like him too.
I like him as an actor. Evan Peters has great stakes presence, and he's a good actor, and he's interesting.
Let's rattle through, and...
Sorry.
Because we're right at the end. So
oh my gosh. So she says, they might be playing in the basement.
Yeah.
Did you? Because, I don't know if you did, because, right, I was watching it, because we don't talk about this, Podlovians, literally, we resist talking about it to this point, and trust me, that is really hard. Right, so when she said they're playing in the basement,
yeah,
did you, I felt like my stomach dropped. I was like, what's she done to the children?
No, I was just sort of waiting to see what was going to happen. I wasn't able at that point to think, I think this will happen, or I think this will happen.
I wasn't, I was
just I'm going to wait and sort of let it happen, and I'll...
It was just, honestly, when she said, I think they're playing in the basement, and I might have watched too many, I watched Bones, I binge-watched Bones.
Well, it's not looking good for the twins.
And Bates Motel. Do you know what I mean? When she says they're playing in the basement, I was like, oh god. I'm like, oh no. Oh my god. Those children's skin's gonna be hanging on the wall. I'm like, what has happened to these children? And Wanda goes, and she's going down, and I'm like, honestly, I was so stressed. I was incredibly stressed, and Rosie was next to me, and her hand was digging into my thigh. She was so frightened. She was so scared, and her little 8-year-old claws were into my thigh like this, and she's just watching it, her eyes were saucers, and I was watching it oh my god, am I gonna let my 8-year-old see child skins hanging from the wall?
So
it was so, oh my gosh.
So we see what is clearly a very witchy space.
It is. With the tree roots.
Yeah.
I loved that. I would, by the way, I know I'm drunk, shut up, right? If we ever are rich and successful, I would like to employ a root designer to give us some root aesthetic across. I've said aesthetic a billion times.
We'll make it look like Agatha Harkness's house from WandaVision.
I would just enjoy roots upon our walls. I would enjoy that. I think that's funky.
As long as it's sanitary, I'm fine with it. So...
Puppy Abashi.
Yeah. So there's a book, a funky looking book
with the ram.
Yeah.
And it's curly horns.
I looked at that book quite closely, and it's quite difficult to tell what the hell's going on. And I looked into it. Somebody thought it was some magic book from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but they look different.
I think it's a ram.
Oh, it might well be, but it's a big spell book anyway. It's sort of vibrating, and it's ooh, what's going on?
It's so good.
And then
there's the glowing hatches, the orange hatches.
Yeah. And then so Agatha enters, and she says, Wanda, you didn't think you were the only magical girl in town. Then she does a little flick thing that makes the doors close.
Purple.
So yeah, she's Purple Witch.
Yes.
Not Scarlet Witch, she's Purple Witch.
Yeah,
and she does a little magic trick.
It's good because Monica's blue.
Yes. So and Tommy's blue. Not Tommy, sorry, no, I'm getting it wrong. It's Billy who's blue. blue eyes when he's doing magic. So she does a little click of the fingers, and the door slams shut. And she says, "The name's Agatha Harkness. It's so nice to finally meet you, dear."
Yes! Oh my god!
And then she does a little purple magic and gets into Wanda's head and makes Wanda see a little song.
It was Agatha all along.
This is without question. This is without question the best introduction to a character into anything that I've literally ever seen in my life.
And you know, you get that, like, oh, this character's actually been double crossing, like, you know what I mean? Like, that is a common thing. Like, this is a trope, and I say trope like it's a bad thing. If you watch my YouTube videos, I don't think trope is a bad thing.
No.
But it's a thing where the character double crosses.
It's, the evil plan being revealed.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's not going anywhere.
Right, the evil plan being revealed, the character who's the friend who double crosses, it is a trope that is time and time again. But holy motherfucking shirt balls.
I honestly have never been more blown away or impressed by the introduction of a character into anything. Okay, so in Endgame,
Lord, yeah,
on your left was pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
right?
no, yes.
On your left, and obviously that calls back to the Winter Soldier when Captain America is lapping...
Running and Falcon is...
Yeah, he's lapping the Falcon right at the start, and he keeps saying on your left, and then there's like a little
bit of a
Falcon
jokey... Then, but...
No, he's not, but...
No, but yeah.
So there's a little rivalry, and he's like, don't you say it, and so it's brilliantly referred back to, and he says on your left, I wanted to just applaud, but
I remember, no, but we did, I remember we were in the cinema, and we were both a bit sort of silent applaud.
Child.
Oh my god, he was a cunt.
So,
oh my god, podcast. He was a C word.
He was a bomb of C. So
anyway, yes.
Never, ever. So, like, the introduction of Spike into Buffy the Vampire Slayer is pretty good. He crashes through the Welcome to Sunnydale sign.
Yeah, no, that is great.
Gets out of the car, says "Home Sweet Home" with the vampire face.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I can't remember. But anyway,
but it's great.
Nothing compared to this. This is the
oh
best.
Oh my god, she lands and she has the Wizard of Oz style,
like she's got
pointy shoes and stripy tights,
sort of messy looking, witchy.
Honestly, the purple and black stripy tights thing was my 90s look.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I honestly, and probably into the 2000s, but the point is...
Just the sheer joy.
That was the witchy...
Do you know what I mean?
And she lands with all this purple magic smoke.
And she becomes black and white. She looks at the camera and she's shushing. And
yes!
She is so having the time of her life.
She's
deceiving everybody in WandaVision.
It's so good. And then she's sitting there and she's like that, clicking her fingers and Pietro's there with the purple smoke.
Yeah, and she's got a little picnic basket.
She's got a little champagne
with
glass.
Lots of drinks that she's already had.
But then the best bit, and she's like, and guess what? I killed Sparky too.
Yeah, she says, and I killed Sparky too. And then she cackles.
That's brilliant.
And then
oh my god,
stand by for
We talked. No, listen. Right, listen. Okay. I love you. I listen. Right, listen. I love you.
I know.
Listen. Right, we have talked about how Elizabeth Olsen deserves all the awards.
Well, some have to go to, what's her name, Catherine Hahn.
Right, I stand by the fact that Elizabeth Olsen deserves all the awards because at every point in this episode, right, she has got just so many emotions happening in her face, right? Every moment, she's like, "Mummy needs to rest her eyes. Mummy needs to rest her eyes," and I'm like, I feel you so fucking hard. But she's also, when she's just doing that thing that I swear every parent knows. No, just let Mummy just for a minute, just let Mummy rest. Or Daddy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's usually Mummy, and that's not cool, but that's the way it is. And,
yeah, patriarchy. I have been that mom, but I have not been that mom with that amount of pain. And I have had pain, and I have had stress and challenges and difficulty. But she is communicating
Well, basically,
through...
your brother is alive, your parents are alive, and I'm alive.
And I am not
She's
trying
got all
to...
of them gone.
No, it's not even that. It's I am not also... As if you take all of that, I'm not trying to control an entire world orb.
Yeah.
Like, she... And how she communicates that through her face when the dialogue is not communicating that. What the dialogue is communicating is normal mother talk. What she's communicating is entirely through her performance.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So Elizabeth Olsen deserves every award, like all of them. If you have an award, like she can get lighting. Like, give her the award for good lighting. Give her the award for like really well mastered audio. I don't care. Just give her awards.
2021 award for tidiest lawn cutting.
That's exactly. She should have that award. Like, give her the awards.
Yeah.
But some of the awards say the neatest wall painting.
Ooh.
Yes. Some of them needs to go to Catherine Hahn because she's fucking brilliant.
Oh my god, right?
I love how when she comes downstairs, and this is the makeup and hair, and I'm not taking their awards away, but like she has this sort of witch hair.
Yeah.
And a look. And she moves different.
She does move different. She's sharper.
Everything about her. She goes on this like floofy, sort of bubbly bubblegum woman who I never bought, you never bought, Podlovians we never bought, but her movements change, her expressions change, her hair is different. She's a different woman. And then when it goes into it was Agatha all along, and there's
so
joy.
Good. She is. She's having a wonderful time.
She's having so much fun.
So let's look at the moments that we see, right? So we get the moment at the magic show. Yeah, the first one is when she first goes to the house in episode 1. Yeah. We don't see anything from episode 1, but we see her before she knocks on the door and introduces herself. God almighty, I love this so much. It's so good. We get the magic show in episode 2. We get the conversation with Herb at the fence. Yeah, right, when she touches his head. Which I'm going to talk about later. Oh! And we get the scene in episode, was it 6 last week? When she's talking to Vision. And this is my favourite of the lot, because he's so earnest. I know, and he's doing the bit where he's like, I want to help the people. Like, yes. Like, and she's checking her makeup in the mirror, and then she looks at the camera and she like winks. And then she's like back again. She's like, and she goes back to the window, all sort of earnest. I absolutely love this character. You know what? I love that we were so fucking right, because we were like, I don't buy it. Like, literally, because I listened to the podcast from last week, and I'm like, we're like, we don't buy it. We don't buy it. We don't buy it. And we said, I think I might have already made this point, but we did say when Norm, I did make this point already tonight, that Norm says, she's in my head, or like, you have to make her stop, and we said maybe it's Agnes, because Agnes is very prominent in this. So is Dottie. She's obviously important, but she's not as important as Agnes. No. But Agnes. I wish to talk about her at some point in this Podlovian cast. Cool. I just gotta say, again, I'm not being like some kind of idiot. This was the best introduction to a character I've ever seen. I just literally watched it all from the moment she comes into the cell, into the basement, through to And I Killed Sparky too, which fucking amazing. I know! Because we wondered that, and that's not just us wondering it. Everybody wondered, did she kill a dog? Well, maybe not everybody. Maybe some people just took it at face value that she's my the neighbour. Wouldn't have. My ma would not. My ma would not have wondered that. But the fact that she says it, and then she laughs at the camera, and then she turns and gives it an even heartier cackle. And it's like a sort of, and it goes, a silhouette against the sky. And she goes like onto the, like when she does the turned ha ha, it's into the second ha that it just goes to that please stand by that everybody hates. You know, when the episode ends. People hate that. Well, they hate it because it means that there's no more WandaVision for a week. I was going to say... They hate it for a good reason. No, that's a fair reason. Yeah. Okay, so then we go, right, before we talk other things, we go to the post-credit, mid-credit scene, where Monica is outside.
She's outside Agnes's house. And she finds I love those American big doors. I would be so paranoid about those basement doors. I'd be like, I need to make sure that they are, like, padlocked outside and inside. Like, we don't let strangers just open our doors and come into our basement. You see them in films so often. And I'm like, everyone just walks in through your big basement doors.
Yeah.
But she, like, opens them up. And then, Pietro's there, like...
Snooper's gonna snoop.
Yeah.
Snooper's going snoop, is it?
Like,
and then that's it.
And that was great, because you're like, okay, because she said, like, he's not your uncle. Like, he's not your uncle. Like...
What's he doing there? We don't know.
We don't know, but she couldn't banish him, is the point.
Or she didn't want to.
But she,
Wait, which she? You mean Wanda?
Yeah.
Right. Well, she might think she has. She thought she'd banished the other character in that scene, and she came back, so...
But it's just great.
It is, it's great.
Okay, so the things, before we, wrap up our Podlovian cast, I want to talk about Dottie.
Wait, when you say wrap up, do you mean this podcast?
Yes.
No, I got loads to say.
Good, because the thing...
We haven't done things we like, don't like, and things.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying, I want to talk about Dottie.
Right, before we finish.
Before we finish.
Like we're about to finish.
No, I'm just saying, before we finish...
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we talk about Dottie, because I'll forget it, because I'll get so caught up in everything else, and she's not prevalent in Dottie. This.
I had a theory that I wanted to talk about.
Right, first we need to talk about what we liked.
Okay.
Jonathan McKinney.
Well, no big surprise. That song at the end is the most breathtakingly brilliant, excellent thing I honestly think I've ever seen in a TV show introducing a character, and not just TV, but on a cinema screen. I've seen some cool reveals in TV and cinema. I've seen some really cool shit, like stuff that I absolutely like. The Joker in The Dark Knight. That introduction is.
Oh my god! Yes,
this is better than that.
It was so good.
And I might feel differently next time I watch Dark Knight, because that scene always.
Yeah, but
I don't think this can ever be touched. This is the levels I'm talking about, right? For the Wanda, or it was Wanda. Sorry,
it was Agatha. It was Agatha all along.
She is having so much fun and being so delighted in her evil scheme.
Like, she's brilliant.
I've never been so impressed in my life, and I know that sounds a bit silly.
No, it does not.
But you know me, right? I do not enthuse
over
every little thing.
I know how much film and TV we are. Yeah. Trust me.
Right. So this is
we are incredible film and TV nerds.
To once again bring up Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right? The moment at the end of season 6 when Willow is grandstanding because she's sort of turned dark and she's got Buffy on the floor and she's like, "I'm the most powerful person and there's not a soul in the world that can stop me now." And then she gets blasted and you don't see by who, and then Giles is standing there and he's like, "I'd like to test that theory."
I'd like to test that theory.
That was cool.
That was fucking brilliant.
This is the best thing that does this. Because obviously she's not a new character. This is essentially a twist, but this is an introduction to Agatha Harkness.
Yes.
Who is ever going to top it? I don't understand.
You know what
how
makes
it could be better.
So great is it does not take itself too seriously. That song, that intro, that winking at the camera. But the point is, like, so many shows or film, like when they do a thing and they're like, "This is a big reveal," like they take it very seriously and the audience is going along with it because it's a big. But it's like,
this to me is like when the hot priest in Fleabag starts to notice that she talks to the camera.
Yes! Oh my gosh! Yes, it's like, I know.
You think like, oh my god, this is so perfect, but it's never going to be done as well as this again.
Yes, I agree. It's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? Like, yeah, I agree, because you can't do this again. You
can't introduce a character with a song like this.
No, you can't do it.
Because it won't be as good as this.
It can't. And also, even if it was as good, right? Even if it was better, I'm just saying, right? Even if it was, everybody would be like, "Oh, that's a copy of that."
Yeah.
So even if you were like, I've written like the best best version of this.
Honestly, this is the best moment of the series for me. And I've been saying that every week as these episodes go. Like,
no, but this...
When the Hex was expanding last time, I was like, this is amazing.
I know, but because this was... The reason this was so brilliant is because it was funny.
Yeah.
And it harked back to every previous... It harked back to every previous episode.
Yeah.
It was...
Well, not every single episode.
No, but
yeah, like a bunch.
A bunch. And it was goofy and silly, but serious. But
it's just so good.
It is.
I don't know what you can really do after this.
So I want to talk about a thing that I really like. And this is after a conversation I had on Twitter. And it was like a really cool guy who has his opinions, and it's fine. I'm saying guy. I actually don't know if it's a guy, but we talked about
a person on
Twitter, whose opinion was that the female characters, and I'm surmising, so forgive me. The female characters are deserved by the fact that the big bad reveal all along is a woman, a witch. She's responsible for all of it. And there was an opportunity to do something deeper and more interesting.
More interesting than WandaVision.
Yes, with the grief and the...
Okay.
And this is fair, because this is an opinion of a person who loves the show and watches the show and was disappointed by the Agatha Harkness. And it's fine. Right.
Disappointed by this?
Yes, by the reveal of the Agatha Harkness, because
there's no hope for me then. Jesus Christ.
But I would and it's fine for me. It's that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion.
Underserving the female characters in this show.
But I would just like to take a moment to talk about the writing of the female characters in this show, and I feel I shouldn't talk the female characters, because all characters, right? But, I know, Podlovians, that quite often female characters are underserved in the story, because they're
they used to be routinely in all things all the time, underserved.
I agree. They were the Bond girl, but not in a good way.
They were men were making movies and sort of making the movie making business a bit of a closed shop for white men. Mm-hmm. So not just female characters, but characters any kind of person of colour characters.
And if they needed a character who is not a white man, they just painted a white man.
Sure. I mean, and so anyway, the thing is that that is a fact.
It is a fact.
It's not a fact anymore in the same way.
It's not. But I would, despite the fact it's not the same anymore, it literally isn't. Female characters get a way better ride than they used to. And I'm grateful for that. And I don't want to downplay the fact that female characters get a better ride than they used to.
Yeah.
However, despite that, I would just like to talk about the female characters in this show, because you look at Darcy, right? She's a doctor, and she has no problem asserting the fact she is Dr. Lewis. Mm-hmm. She's not just, she's got no problem asserting the fact she is qualified, she is educated, and she has a title, and she's you will use it. You've got Wanda, who is this incredibly strong, but damaged and deep and interesting woman who is dealing with an incredible amount of pain and strength all at the same time, which are juxtaposing against one another, because it kind of feels like they're fighting one another. The weakness of the pain against the strength of the magic, it's constant.
Yeah, the fact that she's got magical strength is... that could be anyone.
Yeah, but it's the humanity of that character.
What she is she's a woman... and again, I don't really necessarily think much of it is specific to the fact that she's a woman rather than a man, but she's in a lot of pain because she's had a lot of trauma, and real trauma, not just my weird robot boyfriend had his head ripped open by a space god, but also she was, she talks about I think Pietro actually in Age of Ultron talks about that they were trapped for days waiting for a bomb to blow up, the same way that it had blown up and killed their parents.
Yeah.
So then Pietro and Wanda were waiting, not knowing when the thing was going to blow up, for days before they were freed. That is, for a child, a profoundly traumatizing event. And I've just remembered actually one of the things I don't like.
Oh Lord.
Thinking about it. So I will hold that in my brain.
Okay, I'll do a quick summary. So the female characters. So Monica, who is smart
Hero
and
from top to bottom.
strong and brave and interesting and brilliant and fierce. Like, she's such a great character, and watching her mutate. Like, Agatha Harkness. Like, you've been watching this woman who you, like, if you're like me, you've never trusted, like, the women, like, these characters.
It's an incredibly female show, but the male characters are still good. Like, Vision's great, Jimmy's good.
The thing is, yeah, like, one of the criticisms that often comes out of shows with the like, I'm using, like, the bunny ears here.
Speech marks is what you're using.
Oh. Whatever, the strong female characters. I'm saying bunny ears.
Okay.
Strong female characters. Right? I
just think bunny ears might confuse people more than speech marks.
I feel like bunny ears is very clear.
Okay. So
that in order to allow a female character to be strong, they have to weaken the male characters. Yeah. Because otherwise it would be the man doing those things, right? Yeah. They don't do this in this show. That, no. Vision is fucking badass. Competent, Jimmy is brilliant. Even, like, bloody, what's his name? Hayward.
Hayward, yeah.
He's a strong character. He is not weak at all.
Like, no, he's an asshole, but he's a great character.
But he's a great character and he's strong. Yeah. Like, they do not have to, in this show, they do not have to circumcise.
Well, yeah, basically what you're describing is
neuter.
The previous model was the men are heroic and strong and interesting, and the women are somewhat flat and pointless, but they look nice.
Yeah.
They don't flip that. They just make both groups strong and capable and interesting.
Everybody is just brilliant.
And that's good writing, I think. And in this, I don't know, like, but that to me is good writing. And I think that, yeah, you're right. I mean, to me, hearing that somebody thinks that the female characters are underserved in this TV show, I honestly kind of despair at the thought of that being an opinion that anyone has. Because, okay, but one thing that I could say that I can reach out and understand the concept is that the trope of the evil witch is a thing. That storytellers are being, I think storytellers are being not pressured, but encouraged to move away from. Because there are people who identify in this way that they're Wiccan.
And also, like...
and it's like a religion, and it's not... And it's been persecuted. I mean, essentially, again, sorry to keep going back to Buffy in this particular era that we're in now, but the it could be witches, some evil witches, which is ridiculous because witches, they were persecuted, and Wiccan and women power and love the earth, and I'll be over here, right?
But the point is as well, I would say,
and that was 15 years ago.
My sympathy would be like this: like, if Agatha Harkness was born of a really terrible time when the witches were murdered for being seen as evil.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but also witches are allowed to be evil.
Oh no, I know.
Because it's possible in real life, therefore in fiction, it's on the table.
I'm not in any way, like, I stand by the fact I love it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that when you have a character who was created in a time of this incredible female abuse, like patriarchal driven violence against women, wrongly accusing them of being evil, and a character was created in a time where women were wrongly accused of being evil, to have the woman who is representative of that time being evil, I get the criticism. I don't agree because I love the reveal. And, like, trust me, I am not in any way being like, damn, I hated this because of this. But I am saying I have an understanding of that.
I can also understand where it's coming from, it's a bit like portraying an Irish character as a drunk. It's sort of the old way.
Exactly, I agree. And it's like...
Even though I'm both of those things.
You are Irish and drunk. But I agree. I'm not in any way saying that I didn't like what they have done with Agnes. I loved it. Like, I loved it so much. I still love it. But when someone talks about their issue with it being based on this idea that a character created in a time where women were persecuted for being seen as evil because they were witches, to have a witch who was created in a time... You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I can see it. I don't... It's not even that I don't agree. I agree with the criticism. It's just I love it so much that
I think
I let it... I'm just like, I accept it.
I think evil witches is fine as a concept in story, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a storyteller always depicts witches, and specifically female characters, as being somehow untrustworthy because they're women. I mean, we've got... Wanda is not the villain. I know she plays with the idea, but she is very much a victim in this story. You're allowed to have evil characters.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I write witches. So, I write witches, and I have written witches who are evil.
And
or not evil. Morally complicated and make bad choices.
The book that I'm writing right now...
Yes!
...has a... I mean, you could look at that book.
Oh,
I'm
Wicked
not gonna,
Witch.
It does have a Wicked Witch. I'm not going to disclose too much, but the...
No, don't, because it's a good book. Read it. Like, buy it.
When it's ready, which it won't be for a while. But the point is, you could take from the character that I've created, you could take from that implications about my opinion on mothers in general, and to a larger extent, women.
Oh, yeah.
And build this story where I hate women because of the way that I've written this. You could.
You could. Of course you could.
But
you could build
I needed a character. In Unholy Water, I needed a character. And she served the purpose.
I feel
and
like...
she developed into a bigger character.
From my stories, you could very much more easily build the theory that I hate men.
But you do hate men. You want us all to perish in the great man-killing event.
Well, you're going to be number one on my slate. I shall perish you on my man-killing slate as a feminazi.
You'll have to catch me first, baby.
Oh, I can't do that. I'm sloshed.
There you go.
My feminazi violent ways.
No, I mean, from my stories, you could probably make a case that I hate men too, especially the Shieldmaids books, and I'd be like, "Hello, I am one though.
I am a penis human. I'm not a
we need bad guys.
You're a penis human.
Heroic stories.
That's the thing. I agree, and this is one of the reasons. Like, we cannot make every single character in our stories heroic and good because there is a community of people associated with the community that character is in. Right. You just can't because then there'll be no more stories.
So, like in the 80s, all the villains were English, right? In American movies, in Hollywood movies. So, like you had this sort of
Rickman,
British bad guy thing, and that's because of the Revolutionary War.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons, exactly. He sounds like he's up to something. You know what I mean?
Brilliant. Rickman and Irons are...
Yeah, the good die-hard baddies. So, there was this pattern. Like, if we just listen to what every group is telling writers not to write villainous characters, and as long as it's... Like, we don't have any actual prejudices, right? So we're not...
I have prejudices.
Okay, but not like...
I do not care for...
We don't hate women, right? So we could have a witch, but not every villain's going to be a witch in our books. Because, or TV shows, movies, or whatever. I mean, there's a TV show that we created, and it's got a powerful witch.
Yes, it does. Shush.
I mean, I know nobody's seen it yet, but like that's on the official information about it.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is on the official.
That character exists, but like. The mains, like the other characters, there are other witches non-stop in that story. You're gonna have to find your villain somewhere. You can't just have the villain be an old white rich man.
I agree. That's the thing. Like
this is better because
as soon as you cut storytellers off at the legs by saying, right, these are the groups that can never be villains,
Yeah,
and
that's
these
nonsense.
are the groups that can. You're like, well,
But obviously, if your villain was always a black man
sure,
or a witch,
oh yeah, 100%. Then you're gonna
people
be
would
like,
start to say like, well, you might have a problem with the way you think about people.
There is an issue here. But if you're just like, no, look, I have to write stories, and there has to be different people, and there has to be villains and monsters, and sometimes they're this and that. Like, you just imagine just being like, no, these stories are unacceptable because this group has been deemed too protected to ever appear in fiction in a negative light.
Way,
It's like, well, okay, so
and
then which is next? What? All his, like, what are you supposed to do?
We've talked about it before. We'll have no stories left, and that's not me being like, oh, you know, cancel culture. I don't care about cancel culture.
No, this is just literally
people having consequences for things they do.
But stories need characters that are good, bad, and morally complicated.
We need bad guys, and they can't all be Donald Trump, is the point.
Most of them can be Donald Trump.
Like, you can do that. I think maybe Winter Soldier does that a bit with Alexander Pierce. Is sort of is it Alexander Pierce? Depicted a bit like, not Donald Trump because he's smart, but No,
but you have to have goodies and baddies.
You have to have goodies and baddies. And why can't a woman be a villainous
witch? I agree.
Like Catherine Hahn is having the best time of her life.
She's so
and
good.
Your Twitter friend wants to take that away because they don't want to see another evil witch. And I say that no one has the right to take that song away from Catherine Hahn.
I mean, I agree, but I also...
It was Agatha Ross. So this morning...
I do understand
this morning, Podlovians, right? This morning, I watched it first on my computer.
Normally...
On my Computron.
Normally, I watch it on my phone while I'm making the lunches for the children. I start boiling pasta and roasting potatoes, as in making jacket potatoes, and I have it on my phone, and while I'm doing all this stuff, I watch it. But today, because
I've got a reason why I had to.
Yeah, no, you carry on.
So I'd watched it myself with my headphones on. I told Rosie, our 8-year-old, not to. Do we name her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, fine. I told her not to look at my computer screen because I'm watching WandaVision. She hadn't seen it and she couldn't watch it because JJ, you were doing videos for YouTube. So I sat and I watched it, and then as I've said before, I rewound it and watched the song again and again and again and again and again because I had to watch it many times to satisfy my need to watch it many times. And then after that, I had to encourage. The problem I was having was the song was in my head and I wanted to sing it.
And the thing is, normally, John watches it at a point on a Friday. It varies. I watch it, as I say, usually while I'm making the lunches, and then we podcast it in the evening. And then Rosie, because, Rosie loves it so much. It's a special treat on John's birthday. She got to watch episode 1 again and talk about it with Daddy.
And she got to be excited when she realised that was Darcy watching.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end.
She got to enjoy it from she loves it. But we usually make her wait because we're like, no, we've got too much to do. We'll watch it, we'll podcast it, and then we will all watch it as a family when there's no time pressure. Because, you podcast after the kids go to bed, and it basically works out that usually on a Saturday night, Rosie gets to watch WandaVision.
Yeah.
But yeah, today John's like, I really feel like we should just watch it. And he's like, Rosie, would you like to watch WandaVision now?
This is about 10 o'clock this morning, Friday morning.
And honestly, Rose's eyes, they were saucers. I mean, they were huge. She was giddy. She was bouncing.
I kept hearing the words, it was Agatha all along.
And you were going to sing it.
And I was like, I keep having to stop singing it. And because I can't sing that.
Yeah.
Because I've just watched it.
Oh my gosh, if I heard you sing that, Rosie might not because she knows her as Agnes.
Well, we are the ones who talked about Agatha Harkness last time.
Exactly. Rosie, though, doesn't listen to our podcast.
No, she wouldn't think about Agatha at all.
Exactly.
But you
and
would.
I would not allow her to listen to our podcast on account of the fact that we say fuck and cunt repeatedly.
Yes, she'd hear words that she's never heard before.
Exactly. So, basically, I got to sit on the sofa, which I never like. I never do in the day. I never sit on that sofa in the day, and we watched WandaVision, and we then had to, again, as you say, you rewound the song.
Yeah.
Right? Rose is like, I need to watch the song again. Like, we rewound it, and she watched it, and then she was singing it, and she was making up her own words to her own version of the song.
She's such a good character. This Agatha Harkness.
I'm so excited to see where this goes. Where are the twins?
Well,
are we into thoughts and theories?
We've not done what we don't like.
Do what you don't like.
Is there anything you didn't like? It's perfectly acceptable to say no.
I'm saying no, but I feel like when you say what you didn't like, I might agree with you.
I think you will. I think you'll think that you hadn't realised it.
Yeah,
now
that's what I'm assuming will happen because...
Okay, so this is because we have this section, and part of our jobs is to...
criticise as well.
Or not to criticise, because I don't like that word, but to...
critique.
If this was a draft that we were working on, this is what I would say. And I think it helps you, Podlovian friends, if you have any interest in writing, to sort of adopt this method of sharpening your tools as a storyteller. And you could disagree with me, and lots of people do about lots of things, and that's absolutely fine. This is just my feeling on the matter. And that is that in episode 4, when we first meet Hayward, Monica is trying to get into the Sword headquarters or whatever, and he, there's that like rude security guard guy.
Yeah, and they have Hayward like a bit of back and forth.
Hayward comes, and they clearly know each other.
And they like each other.
You haven't aged a day, and she's like, and you look old as hell. And they have this really nice relationship.
They seem like they're friends.
Specifically, obviously, because Hayward is Hayward. He's a dick. That's fine. But Monica seems to really admire and appreciate her relationship with him. But as soon as he starts to be revealed to the audience to be a bit of a prick, she seems to forget that she ever had any fondness for him at all. She clearly had fondness for him. He clearly meant something to her. They've got a shared memory of her late mother. But she never seems to remember, after his turn into sort of antagonist space, that she had a friendship with him. And I think if one of my friends turned out to be like this much of a shit, I would feel kind of betrayed and really sad and...
yeah, whereas she's just she has a sort of I knew you were a shit all along energy.
She's just riding with it. Like, don't let him make you the villain. Like,
I agree.
I don't see any hint that there's any regret in her that this is what he turned into, and that's what I think should be. I hadn't
considered this, but now you're talking about it. Yes, I can see it because I had thought about this before. Like, they seemed like they were friends, and
we haven't seen the consequence of their friendship being fractured.
Yes,
in the way that we should have done, because unless she was performing out of professional courtesy, but there's no explicit reference to that. There's nothing to suggest that she suspected him all along.
No.
She seemed to admire and respect him,
and
was happy that he'd been given the job of director or acting director, because who's the real director? Who knows? Maybe Reed Richards, maybe what's his name, Nick Fury. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. It's not specific to this episode, but it's this episode is the first time I really had the conscious thought and didn't just immediately start thinking about something else.
I agree. You're right, because I've had that thought,
like, just sort of bubbling under.
But I hadn't sort of put a word to it. I'd just sort of been aware of it and let it go because there's so much going on in this TV show.
It just feels like their friendship, which was clearly depicted, has been erased, so that we can just have conflict instead.
When she's dealing with the RC security guy and he approaches, she's happy to see him.
Yeah, she is.
She's friendly with him. They talk about her mom, like the history of Sword. Like,
he's nice. He says that she, like, it sucks that she's not allowed to go into space, but it means that her mother believed she'd come back.
Yeah, and exactly.
They look like they've... And the fact that she recognises that he's aged tells me that's not just a passing...
Yeah, because 5 years is not
No, you'd need to know somebody pretty
Yeah,
well
like
to spot the difference in 5
yeah,
years.
like children.
Oh yeah,
5 years, you see it.
yeah, but a guy his age,
a guy his age, like our age, like
Yeah.
you do not look that different to you did 5 years ago.
I
You
was
just
slimmer then.
not much. You
I
look,
was
you
a
look
lot
like
thinner
the same
when we met.
guy.
But yeah, so the that's the only thing that I've got to say in a negative sense. So should we rattle straight into thoughts and theories?
Thoughts and theories, please. So I think we've done what we like. Like which is like, hello, we love everything.
I mean, honestly, the song.
The song is so fucking.
I'm not prone, as you know.
I like the font.
Yeah.
May I just say, as someone who does a lot of visuals and like artistry, like I'm all like John Podlovians. John is a master of audio. Like John writes incredible music, like genuinely incredible music, and he is scoring our film, and he is like he did the audio on our film. Like Jono is like if you need somebody to be an absolute master of the ear.
You're selling me.
I am.
Oh.
It's Jono. But I spend a lot of time doing visual.
Yes.
I do artwork. Like both drawn by me and like digital manipulation, and I do like words that I do graphics around. And basically, because I have a very visual brain, I very much enjoyed the font that they used for It Was Agatha all along.
It's
like,
so good.
I just took a very special moment just for me to be like, that is the perfect font. Like with the perfect shadowing around the lines of that font. I enjoy what they have done here.
So, I agree. Thoughts and theories. Do you have any, or shall I just go?
I would say you go.
Okay, right.
But remember, I want to talk about Dottie.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about Dottie now.
Alright, go. Because I do have thoughts and theories, but I don't feel like any of them are fully formulated right now. But if you start talking, they might come into like a big blob that I can talk about.
My question is, and I've been watching all of the Agnes scenes today after watching this episode. My question is, what is she up to, right?
Agnes or Dottie?
Agnes.
Agnes.
Agatha, right? So, number 1.1, right? She is with Herb talking about Geraldine.
Yeah, and how she has no home.
No home. And she looks to Herb when Herb is trying to say, she came here because we're all, and Vision says, we're all what? And he says, because we're all, and then Agatha looks at him and pleads with her eyes to stop talking. And then it cuts inside the house, and when it comes back outside the house, Agnes is chipper again, like she is after the bit in the car.
After the bit, yeah.
Halloweeny. And she rings a bell and she cycles away. And then Herb says, catch you on the flip side, right? Which we joked about because on the flippity flip.
Flippity flip.
So, I think it's fair to say, and the other, okay, so take that incident, right? She's in control. She's not mind controlled when she's doing that, right? Take then another example. What the fuck did she drive out to the edge of town for in episode 6? Because, yes, she was there pointing her headlights out of Westview, right?
Yeah.
Why? And I don't expect you to have the answer, but I'm just posing the question. What drove Agatha Harkness to drive to the edge of town in a witch costume, pointing her headlights out of Westview?
Must have scared her.
No, that's not what I think.
Ooh, okay. What do you think?
Right, so those are the two events, right? Because then Vision flies down.
Yeah, I would have said the reason she was trying to get out was something had scared her. Like, something is bigger than her. Like, she is magically unable to control and needs to try and find a way out and has realized she cannot get out.
Okay.
So tell me what yours are, because I'm interested.
I believe that her actions so far indicate that she wants Vision to investigate this. Because, one, she's talking loudly about Geraldine in front of Vision when she wouldn't have to. To Herb, she wouldn't have to. She could just zap him and make him stop. She makes him stop when he's saying more than she wants him to.
Yeah.
She came here because we're all... And the fact that Herb knows that. Right, so let's take that scene in particular, right?
When Herb has been slicing through
the wall.
Yeah.
And then Agnes and Herb are talking about why Geraldine has suddenly arrived in town. She's got no family, no husband.
No home.
No home is specifically the one that pricks Vision's interest.
No
because
home.
when she says that she's got no family, no husband, Vision's like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. But then, no home. Agnes, not Herb, Agnes wants Vision to know that Geraldine has no home, right? When Herb tries to say, she came here because we're all, and I suppose the next word is mind-controlled slaves, Agnes stops him.
Yeah.
Right? So she wants Vision to be suspicious, but she doesn't want Vision to know that they're all mind-controlled slaves. That's the way to take that scene. The scene
I agree.
in the car, why she drives and points her headlights out of Westview is because she wants, again, this is my theory, she wants to attract Vision because she knows Vision is looking for answers. So she drives to the edge of town, points her headlights out of Westview. It's literally pointing out of town.
And if Josette, our American friend who we have referenced before, is correct, she said, like, a lot of little towns, they have a road in and a road out. There is not...
Right, but the point I'm saying is that...
Yeah, but my point is, like, if she would then know that if Vision is looking...
She's pointing the way.
Exactly.
With her headlights.
Exactly, but if Vision is... Because, like, our town, there's, like what, 20 roads out of our little town? Yeah. But if it's a little American town...
It's one road in.
One road in and one road out.
Like Norwich.
I have never been to Norwich. Is that where Alan Partridge is?
Yes, that is where... Alan Partridge is from.
Right, but the point is... Like,
no, Alan, you can't. There's no need for that.
Our little town. And I think if our town is being small, but there's
lots of ways in and out.
In and out. But if this American town is, as Josette says, like there's a road in and out, then if Agatha knows that Vision is
looking for answers,
then she's like, I'll just wait, I could be there.
Because he doesn't walk down a road to get out.
No.
He just walks towards where the headlights were pointed. But if you think about it, outside Westview, outside of the Hex, there is one camp which is positioned. If you imagine the Hex as... Oops, sorry, Podlevians. Imagine the Hex as a big circle, or a hexagon, I suppose I should say. Right? There is one camp positioned in one place.
Yeah.
Right? Not all the way around. They don't surround the town. So if Vision walked out of town the other end of town, he'd find no one. She points her headlights at the camp.
Okay, so
at the sword camp. Because if you're going to infer from that she's doing this on purpose, that she wants Vision to walk out at that point. Right? When he goes floating above the town and he listens to the people in town and he's basically just like Red Superman, he goes to where she is and chooses to walk out of town in that spot because of that's where he saw her. But if he'd have gone to the other side of town, he'd have found no one. Do you know what I mean?
If he'd gone like 50 feet to the left...
Or the right, he'd have found... Well, 50 feet, he'd have probably been like, oh, there's people over there. But he goes straight towards the camp, which is where her headlights were pointed.
And in the exact same direction that Wanda would.
Well, Wanda knows. Wanda
knows.
But
the point is, like, he doesn't
follows
the path.
No, but he follows the path because he just sees Agnes sitting there, pointing the way out of Westview to where the sword agents are. Because Agnes must want Vision to go and meet them. She must want this to happen.
Okay, so... Right. I agree. Agatha Harkness.
You are quite drunk now. You are right to keep going.
Yes. Agatha Harkness. She wants Vision to know about the Hex.
I think that her actions can only be understood if you feel like she wants Vision to tug on the thread.
So is that because she wants Wanda and Vision to separate? Is it because she wants Vision to end the Hex? Is it because she wants the Hex to end by whatever, even if it's not Vision? Is it because she wants Vision to love her instead? What is the motivation for Agnes here?
Mephisto.
Oh, Yes.
absorbs Tommy and Billy, right, in the comics.
I do not like this.
Which is sort of like...
Yeah, the big cockroach fly man. He's eaten those children.
If, for the children, this all happened so that Mephisto could get the superpowered children and their souls.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
There was, on the milk...
Yeah, there was a missing boy.
There was a missing boy.
I don't know, but I'm curious if that's Agatha's son.
Right, because I saw that and, like, the milk carton kid. Like, they didn't have to have a milk carton kid.
I agree. I think that is also... But, like, at the moment we don't have enough information. It might just be a red herring again.
True.
But, yeah, no, I agree.
But I noticed it and I was like,
let it be added to the record, Podlovian friends.
Who is the milk carton kid?
Exactly. So, in the comic books, Mephisto absorbs Billy and Tommy, and then like she later gets them back, and we talked about this when they first arrived, as Speed and Wiccan, right? But they're reincarnated into other people who aren't actually twins, etc., etc. I'm saying that it's not looking good for the twins right now.
It's not.
So, what I made a point...
Ralph ate them.
Or you know, took them to hell because they're powerful. I don't know. But the point I made before, why does Wanda trust Agnes? It's because she's frazzled because of all the tension between her and Vision. So if you put Wanda and Vision together, if you're Agnes, right, you put Wanda and Vision together, she literally magics the bed from two separate beds to like, two beds next to each other, and then one bed that they both share. They then get it on, right, to use parlance, and have sex, and then make Billy and Tommy. Once the children have been born, you don't need Vision anymore. So get rid of Vision, get him to go walking out of Westview where he will die. Right? The problem is that like she must know that the camp is out there, because she literally, if the place is a giant circle or a hexagon, she chose to point her headlights where the camp is. She might as well have a fucking sign that says, walk through this bit of the hex, Vision, because this is where you'll find the people I want you to find. So...
This is very good.
Right?
Yeah.
If she wants conflict between Wanda and Vision now that the babies are around, now that her husband, Ralph Mephisto, can eat the babies, or whatever, because they're powerful and that's what he wants to do for some reason, then you've got a working theory. Now, I don't know if they're going to get rid of the kids. I think it's very dark if they do.
But also, I kind of respect it if they do, because it's dark as fuck.
It's what happens in the comics.
And also, because everyone watching it is like, no, we know the kids are going to be safe. So if they...
they'll be back. Even if they do get eaten by Mephisto, they'll be back, because... everything else is played out the way it did in the comic book, so why not the fact that they come back?
But I enjoy the idea that, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this says about me as a mother, right? But I really enjoy the idea they'd be willing to kill the children.
Well, it's because it's a bold move. You don't come back
from it. It's fucking bold. Like, if you're like, yeah, we are willing to kill the children in this story, and like,
and if you want to motivate Wanda to have...
Yes! Well, exactly. Right, I am a mother. If someone kills my children, I can't.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would.
There's no saying at the moment that they could survive outside the hex either. Because
I just.
So we need to be prepared to have some sadness for Wanda.
I agree. I'm just saying that as a mother, like, my children are nightmares. They're terrible. They are just awful. But if anybody hurt those children...
Oh, yeah, of course. If the devil tried to eat them, I'd be very cross. So, that is my thought. And it's not really a theory. It's more a question about why Agatha was...
Pointing her headlights
out of Westview
at exactly that point.
Where they are. And also why she was willing for Herb to help her plant seeds of doubt in Vision's mind about Geraldine, but not about why she came here, because we're all... And then Herb can't say it, because Herb clearly is just a random guy. He's got like a high... He's high on the call sheet, if this is a TV show. Like, he's number 4 or 5, but he's not clued in. He's not Agnes. He's not Dottie.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk about Dottie? Talk about Dottie.
I'm just going to take a moment with Herb.
Yes, let's Herb.
Because last episode, he was like, is there anything you want me to do, Wanda?
Yeah, anything you want me to... Yeah, okay, right. So Herb is kind of connected to Dottie in this way, because it is possible, right? So...
Yeah, give me your Dottie theories, because I feel like there's a...
It's possible.
Middle tier between the Wandas and the Agneses.
Norm is the lowest rung. No, actually, the lowest rung is laundry woman with a tear rolling down her face. Right, putting the same bit of laundry up over and over again.
It was a Halloween decoration.
Oh, I thought it was laundry, but never mind, doesn't matter.
It wasn't. It was like a ghost Halloween.
I just thought it was laundry because women should be doing laundry. That's what I'm saying.
Gosh, I will bite you.
Revolution, just leave me alone, let me live, right? So, I apologise, female Podlovians. I don't think you should be doing laundry. Someone's got to do it, but it shouldn't necessarily be you. There should be a system, is what I'm saying.
It's fine. You're okay. Trust me.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just having fun. So, Norm, clearly, rung very low down. Not quite laundry Halloween decoration woman, but Norm is up from that because he gets to have jokes and like other jobs to do than just repeating the same action over and over again. Herb and Dottie may be in the rung below Agatha. So, for the children, right?
Yeah, you see,
if this is a coven, right? If this is a coven,
I am so excited for this to be a coven.
Rather than it just being evil Agatha and everybody else is a slave, but Agatha has her people who are working for her. Dottie and Herb amongst them. In her coven.
I would love if Dottie and Herb are in the coven.
Right?
Yes! This is so much my...
But Norm isn't.
No, Norm isn't. But this is my shiz.
Yeah. A coven is your shiz.
It's 100% my shiz, right? Like...
Now, I know that in our universe, the coven typically has 6 people. 6
in a coven in our world. But it varies. In some universes, it's 3, and some it's 5.
Yeah, it's often 3. And I know Herb's not a woman.
No, but that's not important. Like, yeah, the point is, like, if you're a witch, it doesn't really matter if you're a male or a female. But I very much enjoy... Because... they've been dropping Dottie in.
Well, Dottie is played in episode 2, like she's the chief, like the one you want to impress. Like literally, Agatha describes her as the most important person, the one who will connect you to everything you want.
Exactly, and the schools and
which makes me think that it was Agatha all along. Is like when Monica said it's all Wanda.
Yeah.
Dottie, I am curious. What the fuck is going on with her?
Dying to know.
Like, clearly Agatha is a big deal. Agatha Harkness, existing comic book character. Her name is made of... Maybe we should find out if there's any Marvel witch characters that are like made up of Dot and T. Like Dorothy Doherty or something. Well, no, it'd have to be T at the end. Dottie. If you're going by the Agnes, is Agatha Harkness. So Atha Hark.
So Dorothy Morris Titty.
Just no, Dorothy Smitty.
Dorothy Morris Titty is a name.
It's a name and a half, baby.
Morris
literally, because there was a bit of extra. But yeah, so basically, it's entirely possible that Dottie is Mephisto or Herb. Well, no, Herb probably not. But
no, Mephisto. That must be Ralph.
I don't. Mephisto. If it's Mephisto, and again, I've kind of been ground down by this. I didn't want it to be. Mainly because it's what everybody was saying, and I was like, I just hope it's not what everybody's been saying the whole time. But that fly cockroach is pretty conspicuous, right? So, I think it's entirely possible that it is Mephisto, and if it is Mephisto, and Dottie is the bride of the devil, like witches were considered to be...
I thought Agatha was the bride of the devil.
Did I say
Dottie?
Dottie? Sorry, no, Podlovians and my beloved. I meant... Agatha Harkness.
So what's Dottie?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Coven member, fellow witch, or some other character. Maybe Dottie is whoever Quicksilver is. Maybe it's a shape-shifting character. Who knows is the point. And I think we've got to end it there. Get some food.
Good idea.
We don't really have much else to say. I just want to say one more time how much I love that song. And
I agree. Like,
reveal of
loved it.
this
Loved
character.
it. Rosie loved it. Rosie is making up her own versions of how much she loved it. And yeah, 100%. You were talking about how people have said this is the worst episode so far. And I don't get it. You have that big truck going through and coming back half, like, vintage truck, half modern truck. Like,
in my
you
opinion,
have Wanda facing off against Monica, with Monica becoming a mutate.
Yes.
I really do not enjoy that. Monica becoming a mutate.
If the characters in the world start using that phrase, you'll be saying it in no time.
I will not.
You will.
I do not enjoy it. But the point is, I love this. I love the goofy music when Darcy and Vision are driving the ice cream truck. I love the Modern Family style, like, chatting to the camera. I love the song, everything. Everything about it. I want Roots being molded to our walls to match the Agatha Harkness aesthetic. Everything. Loved it. So thank you very much for listening to our episode 7 of our WandaVision podcast. All the links to all our shiz is in the description below. You can find our website, our social media, everything we've got going on. Come and talk to us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest.
Yeah.
And yeah, we talk WandaVision and stories in general. And we would love to hear from you. So thank you very much for listening. Jonathan McKinney, would you like to say a very hearty goodbye to the Podlovians?
A very hearty goodbye to the Podlovians, and we will be doing the Winter Soldier and the Falcon TV show, or the Falcon.
Oh yes, absolutely. We're just gonna
keep doing this because it's the best part of the week.
It's the best.
If Marvel keeps doing storytelling as good as this, then
oh my gosh,
it won't be able to. You can't.
I honestly, I was thinking about the other day, like, Katie was talking about, like, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm like, I was thinking in my head, like, if WandaVision is creating this incredible show, like, what they've got coming, I am all in. I am balls deep. I am ready.
One last thing I will say, right?
Yes, no, I want to hear your last thing.
Is the end of every episode is amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
And it has been. Like, so the end of the first one wasn't amazing. It was like Vision sort of pulled the chicken bone out of the guy's throat, and then you saw Darcy and you're like, what's that about? The end of the second episode wasn't amazing. It was that they turned into colour for the children stuff. But from episode 3 on, so episode 3 ends with
the Beeman.
No, that's episode 2.
Oh, well, that's episode 2. Then I disagree. I feel like the episode 2 end was fucking good. The Beeman was brilliant.
Fair enough. I feel like 3's ending with Wanda expelling Monica from the Hex.
That was solid.
Like, you don't see it, but you see the turn, and it was very, very cool. Then episode 4 ends with the full reveal of what she did, when she blasts her through the walls.
Yeah.
Amazing. Episode 5 ends with Wanda and Vision having their flying fight.
Yeah.
And then Pietro arriving. Episode 6 ends with the Hex expanding. And now episode 7 ends with this Agatha Harkness song. I don't know. If this trend continues, what the fuck is going to happen at the end of the next episode?
And what's going to happen in Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I don't care yet. Because I want to watch WandaVision.
No, but we talked about Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm just saying in context with how much they're fucking doing with this. Like, what the fuck are they going to do?
Well, it will move the needle forward, clearly. Because this show is moving the needle forward.
Oh my god, this show is brilliant.
Dun, 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 dun,
I love it.
Dun, dun.
I love it. I love this show. And I love you.
I love this show and I love you.
Oh, that's so nice. So thank you very much, Podlovians, for listening to the episode 7 Siren Stories, the podcast. Me and Jonathan McKinney talking about WandaVision.
Yeah, we're going to go get some food now.
I'm so hungry.
So
yeah, we will be back again. You can subscribe to this podcast on Apple and Android.
In all the places where you subscribe to your podcast.
It's also on YouTube, and you can stream it directly from the Siren Stories website. And from there, you can also subscribe and win free stuff every month. So go to sirenstories.co.uk. You can win free things every single month.
That is free things, Podlovians, not 3. You receive 1 gubbin if you win.
Oh yeah, not 3 gubbins.
Not 3 gubbins.
Free.
3, as in
free.
At no cost to you.
Free single gubbin.
And it'll usually be a book written by at least one of us.
Or at least co-worked on.
Yeah.
We're involved usually in the gubbin.
Yeah.
But...
Like, for example, if you want to read my book Where There's an Evil Witch, well, you can't, because it doesn't exist yet, because I'm still writing it. But the prequel, not prequel, but the first book in that series, that's there, and we might give that away.
Well...
We're not going to give it away this time, but...
No, but you could tell them what it's called.
It's called Unholy Water, and it's about vampires and witches in the northwest of England.
Yes. So...
It's very good.
If you go to sirenstories.co.uk, all the links are in the description of this podcast. You will find that and everything else. And yeah, if you follow
I'll tell you what I'll do.
Oh,
Podlovian friend, if you are still here, kudos to you. But I will put a little snippet of Tilly's theme from Unholy Water at the end of this podcast, so you can hear a bit of the music from the book, which I know books don't have music, but
his deal.
Mine do, because I'm a strange man.
But the point is, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, a little snippet of Tilly's theme at the end.
Anyway, we will just, everything you want to know, it's all on sirenstories.co.uk. There's our work, other people's work, upcoming work, everything. Just come find us and find us on social media, chat to us, tell us what you think, and now please enjoy the snippet from Tilly's theme by Jonathan McKinney.
Yes, please.
Inspired by the character Tilly Turnbull from Unholy Water.